Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Tampa Bay Downs here on Saturday. It is the 8th of February, 2025. It's Sam F. Davis Day from Tampa, and I'm going to look at the Sam F. Davis and all the other stakes races on the program. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. I mean it, around the world. Let's look at the stakes action here on this Saturday program from Tampa. Races 5, 6, 9, 11. So quite a few races to get our heads around. The fifth race from Tampa, it's the Pelican Stakes. It's going for a purse of $125,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. 7 horses are contesting 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the main track. Gonna go take the number 5 horse Pure Class as a top selection. 5247 for me in the superfecta. 5247 super. Top selection 5 horse Pure Class. This 4-year-old gelding by the Big Beast. David Fox trains. Paco Lopez gets to mount. Running here as a first time gelding. Most recent outing, or last time out was the first time gelding. Most recently ran the horse 14th of December at Tampa. 7 furlongs in a sire stakes for Florida Breds that day. And he finished second by 2 lengths that day. And he was drifting, which cost him the victory. First start back from the geld. Maybe he needed the race. It was a quick turnaround. He just kind of sat back early. He moved a little bit late, but he still needs something more. I think coming to a faster 6 furlongs here today, back to Tampa, where he's run very well in the past. I think second off the bench, the horse should do very well. David Fox has better numbers second off the bench than first off the bench, or third off the bench, I'll say. He ran first of November off the long refreshing at Tampa, 6.5 and option 25 for open company. And he won by half a length that day. And basically on the rail, he quickened up nicely. You know, went away with it. 78 buyer. You know, it was a strong run for him that day for it being his first start since the 2nd of June. That came at Goldstream on the dirt, 7 furlongs and a handicap, finishing 5th by 11 and a quarter lengths. He was wide, and he just never really got through. His races on this course weren't bad at all. He ran here in the sophomore stakes at Tampa over the 7 furlongs last March, where he won by 1 and a quarter lengths, getting a good pace to close up into, and he did just that. 76 buyer. That was an impressive run. He's training well at Goldstream on the dirt. Got me here at 5-1. I think he could win. The 2-horse Nutella fellow for Junior Alvarado and Gary Contessa, I think he'll win also. He's best to be remembered by winning the Hopeful in 2023 at Saratoga, quite impressively by 1 and a quarter lengths. Came back a little bit slow race, but it was still a very impressive run. Then you didn't see the horse until the Woody Stevens, where I thought he ran a massive third place finish at 20-1, closing up from nowhere. Not a bad race after all said and done, and then a decent place off the long refreshing. He's the kind of horse that's just a little bit, quite a few lines between races, but he's been pretty consistent. He's run races fast enough here. He's going to make his first start and back to back in quite a while. Training well. I'll give him a shot here at 2-1. I think he will get over bet, but he looks like he could be really a horse in the sprinting division this year. Let's see what he does. Maybe you'll see the horse in the Met Mile later this summer. But to recap my selection for the 5th from Tampa, it's Pelican. Going to take the 5-horse Pure Class. Give kudos to the 2-horse Nutella Fella, 5247 Super, 5-2 in the multi race. Let's get over to race number 6 now, which is the Minaret Stakes. It's going for a $100,000 purse race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. 8 horses are going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the main track. Can I go with the 4-horse here? Mixed style, 4683 in the superfecta. 4683 super. Top selection 4 is Nick Style. This 5-year-old mare being captured. Belmont trains. Junior Alvarado gets the mount. Most recently in the state bred stakes race here at Tampa for the fillies and mares, 7 furlongs, 14th of December. This horse won on the front end by 2 and a quarter lengths. She basically drew off clear. 85 buyer. Wasn't the fastest race of her life, but she really took off clear. She's back facing open company here today. Loving this track. Was running races fast enough locally. I think this horse can run a good race and find the winner's circle. She ran 2 back in the Pumpkin Pie at Aqueduct, 7 furlongs, 3rd November. She ran a lifetime performance, went by 3 and a quarter lengths with a 98 buyer. She flew from a tracking trip. She beat a good group of company home. That was an impressive race for her that day. And then prior to that, on the slot, 6.5 furlongs in the Gallant Bloom. She wasn't catching Ways and Means. She had a decent place that day, but Ways and Means is a decent horse. But if you go to her first start in 8 months back at Saratoga in August, 6 furlongs in a allowance race for 100,000, won by 5 and a quarter lengths from the inside. She really took off clear. Another horse training well. She's running races very fast. Like a win here. I'll give her a shot. The 6-horse Dazzling Blue for Brad and Flavian. Flavian, who was here last week, had a great weekend, 5-4. 5 mounts, 4 victors, all for Chow Brown. Today he gets Brad Cox, giving him a mount today. But this horse most recently, Dazzling Blue, ran on the 2nd of January at Goldstream, 6 furlongs and option 75, where he finished second by a head. Autumn Evening had the jump that day, and this horse Bobley, which probably cost him a better place that day. But she ran her heart out for it being her first start since June. And that June race came in option 100 at Churchill over the 6, where she finished third by 2 1/4 lengths, where she just couldn't get there late. And then in the winning colors again, she just couldn't get there until very late in the run, which, if the race was 6.5, she probably would have won. But, if you look at some of her hidden form, go back through her form, she's run some good race that could definitely win. She just hasn't won in quite a while. Her last victory, you have to go back to May of 23. That came in optional 125 at Churchill, where she won by 8 1/4 lengths, really taking off clear. Since then, running against some good horses, just not winning. I think that could change today. At 3-1, I'll use her in the multi race. There's a pick 4 that begins with this race, so definitely use her there. But to recap my selection for the 6th now from Tampa, it's the Minaret, going to take the 4 horse. Nick Style, give kudos to the 6 horse Dazzling Blue, 4-6-8-3 Super, 4-6 in the multi race. We're going to scroll over to race number 9 now from Tampa, which is a very good one. It is the Suncoast Stakes. It's going for a $150,000 purse race for fillies and 3-year-olds here. 8 horses are going a mile and 40 yards on the Tampa main track. I'm going to take the 6 horse here, La Cara, 6-4-3-2 in the superfecta for me. 6-4-3-2 Super. Top selection 6 horse La Cara. 3-year-old filly by Street Sense. Mark Hassey trains. Dylan Davis gets them out. They ran the horse most recently on the 1st of November at Del Mar, mile 16th in the Breeze Cup fillies, juvenile fillies, and finished 5th by 6 1/4 lengths that day. And she just didn't have a lot. She was wide, and she just got beat by better horses on the day. She's probably improved since then. She's training well. Coming here in a much lesser quality spot. I think she could find the winner's circle first. She ran 2 back in the Pocahontas at Churchill mile on the 14th of September, and she won by 3/4 lengths. She sat back early. She was a little bit wide, but she flew into the pace that day. That was a very good run. This track, definitely plays towards closers. A wide closing foot. Actually, don't mind here at Tampa. Her running style suits this course well. I think she could find the trip to win. On debut at Saratoga, going 7 in main special weight, she won by 8 lengths that day, and basically in a hand ride, she flew home. It took her 4 times to break the main, but she finally did that day quite impressively. If you look at her previous races in those maiden ranks, she wasn't running bad at all. She actually lost to Vaca in a twist in her first outing ever, who was next star winner, so got beat by a decent horse in debut. But since the Breeze Cup, she's been training well. Palmettos coming here to the West Coast, Florida. I think she could find a trip here. I think the 4 horse Her Laugh for Irad and Withward Beckman can win also. Was 2 for 2, won the Untappable right before Christmas at Fairgrounds over the mile 70 by 2 1/4 on the front and all throughout. She won quite easily that day. On debut, she had to be used a lot going 6 at Churchill, but she won by a head, closing up, digging in that day. A very, very good run for this horse with the wide trip. She's training well at the Fairgrounds, coming here at 5-2, and the late pick 4, I'll use her. But to recount my selection now for the 9th from Tampa, it is the Suncoast Stakes. Going to take the 6 horse La Cara. Give kudos to the 4 horse Her Laugh. 6-4-3-2 Super. 6-4 in the multi race. Let's get to the featured 11th race from Tampa, the local prep race for the Tampa Derby. The 11th race, it's the Sam F. Davis Stakes. It's going for a purse of $250,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. 10 horses are going 1,700 meters, or a mile 16th here in the Sam F. Davis. Going to take the 7 horse poster. I'm going to go 7-2-3-6 in the superfecta. 7-2-3-6 super. Top like 7 horse poster. This 3-year-old colt by Munnings. Ian Hardy trains this one for Godolphin, this homebred. Antonio Gallardo gets them out. This horse ran impressively in his dirt debut at Aqueduct, a mile and the 8th on the 7th of December in the Remsen. He won by a nose that day, and he's the kind of horse I looked at him. I'm like, he's a great turf horse. Can he run on dirt? And he can run on dirt. He closed up with getting some good dirt in his face. He was very wide, but he held on. He got to the winner's circle and he held on to the race. It was a tiring mile and 8th, but it was still a good performance. Coming back to a mile 16th here today, where he doesn't need the lead. Track plays towards his running style. I think he could find a trip to win in his sophomore effort on dirt. He ran 2 back in the Lowndes race at Keelan a mile on the 12th of October, and he won by 3 lengths from a track and trip. He was a little bit wide, but he flew home clear late. Very strong performance on grass. And then on debut at Ellis in August, a mile in the main special weight at the P patch, he won by 1 1/4 lengths, and basically again on the front end, he got the job done. But he was jumping the tire tracks on the turf course, which is a little unsettling. I like that they've been training him on the Tapeta turfway, then came here last week to give him a workout on this dirt course. He had a 5/8 mile drill, 101 and 3/5 of the second, and best workout of 20. Getting Gallardo up, of course, has been on the definitely improve. I'm going to give him a shot here on the ticket. I think he could be a real deal horse for the Derby Trail. I think the two-horse Treaty of Rome for Chad and Dylan Davis in the Coolmore group could be a real deal horse also. He ran the Mucho Macho Man right after Christmas at Gulfstream, or excuse me, after the New Year at Gulfstream with a one-turn mile, where he finished second by a neck behind Guns Loaded. He sat back early, was very wide, but he just missed. If the race was a little bit longer, he would have really made the race interesting late, but he got down the race course well. On Cigar Mile Day at Aqueduct, a one-turn mile in the main special weight, he won by a half a length that day. And again, he was a little bit wide, but he coasted home. A very good performance that day. Keep an eye out for the Cigar Mile maiden breakers. The source, they have a very good, rich history of doing well. Source could be on that trail also. If you look through his, talking about history with this horse, if you look through his, sire forms and, he's bred to just go forever with the Montague on the dam side. Montague was a very good French stayer from about, or an Irish stayer from about 25 years ago, and won the Gold Cup at Ascot quite a few times. So watch over this horse. Possibly in a longer distance as the season goes on. Too bad we're not going to have a mile and a half Belmont for another 2 years. But if it was, he would be my Belmont horse right now. But you can't say that. But on debut, back to that now. Going sixth at Aqua, going to main special. He finished third by 5 1/4 lengths. He didn't get out of the gate so clearly. He was a little bit wide, and he just was a little lackadaisical. But he really improved with the next start. He definitely improved at Gulfstream in the Mucho Macho Man. Back here against stakes quality horses. First time around 2 turns, training well pace, and I think he's another horse that could be real deal. At 6 to 1, I'll definitely use him on the ticket here. But to recap my selection for the feature 11th race from Tampa now, it is the Sam F. Davis. Going to take the 7-horse poster. Give kudos to the 2-horse Treaty of Rome. 7-2-3-6 Super, 7-2 in the multi race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.